Hi everyone, my name's Mad Matt Lugos. Welcome back to Disco Elysium. The final cut. We're in the whirling in rags. We interrogated the Hardy Boys. It was all going very smoothly, and then we missed a really high percentage authority check. So we ended up putting Kimmy's gun in our mouth, and I guess he's not too happy about that.
What in the name of hell was that supposed to be?
He's not happy. The lieutenant's gritting his teeth.
The theatrical suicide attempt. We need to talk about it.
Yes, let's talk about it.
Yes, well, I was able to recontextualize it as a dark joke. I will not be able to recontextualize it the next time.
He pauses thoughtfully.
I understand you sometimes employ extreme interrogation tactics, but I want you to understand that was too extreme.
I missed an 83% dice roll, Kimmy.
We can't have RCM officers going around putting guns in their mouths. We can't afford to have that image. Few institutions can.
I wish to embrace the gloaming ahead of time. The undoing of the atoms called to me. It's going to happen again. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to try it again. Soon. I went with my gut feeling, dude, and it didn't work out this time.
Yes. Very, very, very wrong. I'm glad you see it my way.
Yes.
Let's go.
Right, Oh, wait, what's taking one off authority? Oh, Matt, you pillock.
It's you again.
Yes.
What is it?
Don't tell me it's made the check more. 97. Let's do it.
As you look around this room full of sweaty men, swearing, drinking, spitting out tobacco, does this look familiar?
Where have I seen this before?
You believe the place was called Precinct 41. It was also filled with
Yeah, that's very true.
Men sitting on desks, talking shit and
Yeah,
wasting time.
that's so true, isn't it? From that radio call with our useless precinct.
You seen Apricot, old Purdue's daughter? Asks Lieutenant McCoy. Replies Torson. The ass on that one. McCoy shakes his head in appreciation. A bit strange the old man named her Apricot, but I mean, who am I to judge? Wanna hit the kebab joint?
I get it, Titus. You guys really are the authority around here.
Huh?
You must be. You're just like real cops, drinking beer and sitting around with your dicks in your hand.
You got a problem with beer now?
He leans in.
Not quite there yet. Push on.
Oh no, I got drunk. So drunk I drove my car to the sea. I don't give a shit either, just like you guys. No, I'm a big fan of beer and jerking off instead of helping people. I have a beer problem, but not a problem with beer. I also have no idea how to do my job, like you. No, I'm also a big fan of beer and jerking off instead of helping people. We should probably be a bit more direct, right? I have a beer problem, but not a problem with beer. I also have no idea how to do my job like you.
Speak for yourself, buddy. I've been running this outfit for 10 years now. You should have seen Martinez before it started. It was like jam rock now.
They didn't see shit, man. Kids getting shot. We had 3 shootings a week. Fucking graffito everywhere. You cops haven't shown up since the 30s.
Congratulations on the graffito removal.
He turns to Titus.
All I see is you sitting around talking about Monica's titties while there's a rape victim.
So what? What do you want from me? We took care of that fuck.
He picks the beer back up.
Don't let him drink that. One more push. Quick. Just don't antagonize him. You have this already.
Huh. It's not about who did it. It's about the victim. She needs help. Someone's been raped. She needs counseling. We need to talk to her. Thank you, suggestion. She needs help.
Titus?
He looks at her.
She stops mid-sentence. That's it. You got him. He's going to give it up, but on his terms.
You wanna help her, cop? Fine. I'm gonna let you help her.
No
But you
way.
treat her with respect. If you don't, if you question her, harass her, a freight train of pain, buddy.
Titus taps his chin with a fist.
What is her name?
The lieutenant takes out his notes.
Glacia, I'm on due. She's staying here at the Whirling in Rags, a real pretty one. Silvery jumpsuit, blonde. That's I'm on due with an O-U.
Titus adjusts his cap. It's clashy.
Shit. The girl. The girl upstairs? That can't be her. She knows you drank so hard you forgot you were a cop.
Oh, it's her! It's definitely her! It's Miss Oranje, disco dancer!
Damn it. Thoughts about your room and crying. Clashy Amandu. Cool.
You inexplicably add cool after the victim's name, but no one notices. Your spine is too damn straight. None of these people would ever suspect you've met her. Whatever you do not tell him you know her. That would sound off.
Okay, what was her relationship with the mercenary?
Relationship? There was no fucking relationship. He raped her. That's their relationship.
Something is off here. His anger is possessive.
Was like that karaoke incident all over again. Or like some of the other girls he was harassing.
Okay, enough. All of this is irrelevant to your stated investigation.
Be quiet, Gardner. Right. When did this rape happen?
He did it before we killed him. He's not gonna do it again. So what does it matter?
He crushes his half-empty beer can.
It would help if we establish a timeline.
All right. 2 weeks, maybe? I don't know. I need another beer.
He turns to Glenn.
Here you go, boss.
Tall blonde throws him a can. Titus cracks it open. What's your relationship with her?
I know her.
He looks around, and an uncommon silence fills the room. So you kind of have a thing for her, but you've never got very far.
How well do you know her?
A small twitch in the corner of Kim's mouth. He has a hunch about what knowing means.
Well enough, Copper. We partied. She's been here for a few months.
He crosses his arms.
He tries to make it sound real casual, but the muscles on his neck tighten.
So she's not from around here.
You mean Revachol? Nah, she's an immigrant. Or a drifter of some sort. Been staying here over the winter.
Don't you give her any more trouble. She's just had some bad luck, that's all.
Fat guy blurts out.
Shut up, Angie. She doesn't need your help.
He slaps his forehead.
Titus gives them both a look. They fall silent. What's with all the silences? It's like these guys don't know how to feel about this. You should keep picking at it.
So you said you partied. What do you mean?
What do you think I meant?
Sex, drugs, and karaoke?
Yes, and no. Got something to say about it?
He looks you straight in the eye. So you're saying you were close?
No, we just fucked. That's all. I'm not gonna give you any details if that's what you're after. So put your dick away.
He really went out of his way to seem comfortable with this topic. That's all you're gonna get for now.
Let's not say that we know her, because that's the advice suggestion gave us. Thanks, we'll have a chat with her.
Remember what I said. Freight train of pain.
See ya. All right. We picked up another point. Beautiful. Had to put something into authority, which I'm not too happy about. I don't like the -1 to drama, so let's pop them back on. Logic, composure. Yeah, I'm quite happy with this setup. I like having my ledger in though. Beautiful. Speak to the assault victim. Go upstairs and knock on the door number 3 to talk to the supposed victim of the hanged man. See what she has to say to you. Okay, that kind of gets rid of the theory that she might be working for the mercenaries, right? She might be one of the 2 mercenaries. Really don't know who the second one would be. Unless it's Measurehead. Which it isn't. Alright.
The door is closed.
Who is it?
Nice. A woman's voice answers, muffled by the door.
This is the police. Can we come in?
Come on up. The door is open.
She shouts.
I'm drying my hair.
Sounds like it's coming from upstairs somewhere. You could snoop around before going up.
Sure. Piles of dirty clothes, a woman's. This room has sad all over it. Reminds you of your own. Hotel bill calculations. Looks like she's had an extended stay. You see the yard below. The corpse is no longer there.
This medicine cabinet is full of wares. Sheets of pills, haphazardly stacked, one on top of the other. There's also a toothbrush somewhere in there.
Look at the meds.
Pharmaceuticals line the shelves. Sheet upon sheet of pill bottle next to pill bottle. Acetylic acid, APAP, eye drops, blood thinners.
That's quite the collection there, Kimmy.
Anything of note?
Let's have a search.
Pill bottles rattle like bones as you search the cabinet. Paracetamol, something in a foreign language you can't read. Behind them, an unusually shaped nasal spray. Its label reads, Nacra.
Nacra?
An opioid receptor antagonist. It's used for diamorphine overdoses.
You could say he's on the lookout.
The pill sheets.
Among some foreign, probably Messinian or Gottwaldian, marked red blister packs you find. What do you find? This is going to take a little know-how.
What about the toothbrush?
It's been used quite a lot, but not for scrubbing blood off towels or anything else interesting, it seems. This toothbrush belongs to someone who doesn't give a damn about her teeth.
We've got a few boosts to electrochem, right? The gloves. Yeah, the jeans. Yeah. Spiffing. Alright. Let's give that a try.
This medicine cabinet is stocked with drugs, plus an old toothbrush, and a bright orange bottle with Preptide stamped on it, in sunny, happy letters. Jackpot, baby. That's the stuff you're looking for. Your palms begin to sweat just holding that little plastic container. And your chest swells with pride. Look, it's made right here in Revachol by San Baptiste, a proud Revacholian pharmaceutical company with great traditions.
Red check. What's so exciting about this bottle?
It's speed, man. Just what you were looking for. They call it dextroamphetamine and talk about psychological disorders. But what we're seeing here is some scientifically advanced trucker speed.
Kimmy, Reptide.
Preptide, a euphemism for pharmaceutical amphetamine. Prescription speed.
The fuck are you waiting for? Let's get super fucking preppy.
Nah, I'm alright, buddy. I can live without that. We've got speed already, anyway. Gloves. Jeans.
Yes, mate.
I quite like the drama bonus, to be honest. Drama is on a 3, logic's on a 4. Oh, I quite like the drama. But we're about to go and question her, so we'll stick to this format for now. Alright. We don't need to bother with that red check. Sorry, Kimmy. I'm locking you in the bathroom. Need to do something behind Lieutenant Kitsuragi's back. Lock him in Clashy's bathroom. Perfect. You feel someone watching you behind the glass door. A woman. The bed has been hastily made.
This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass in an untarnished golden halo.
Run your fingers across the surface of the glass.
Smooth as ice. There are spots of mud and rain on the outside, even smudges. But the surface of the window is clear from the inside. No chips, no hairline fractures. Following your lead, the lieutenant leans in closer to inspect the surface.
Looks like the window's been replaced recently.
Looks like it, yes.
He adjusts his glasses. Yeah, so maybe this is where he was shot.
You know which window has not been recently replaced?
The one I smashed in my room?
Yes, that one. Cold wind is seeping in right now. Just one floor below you. Messing up your concentration here.
Stop distracting him! He has work to do! Plus, if I recall, the window has been giving him shit ever since he got here!
That is true. Wait, did I just go back downstairs? I don't think I missed anything, right? We've got the window. The smell of cigarette smoke in the air. Astra menthols. Cold coffee and an ashtray that looks like a hedgehog. Look, a handful of dried white wildflowers.
Just as you look at the flowers, a gust of wind raises them from the roof, picking them up in the air.
Quick!
You catch a single white flower between your fingers. The rest fly off into the wind. It's a Maybell. The young woman looks at the Maybell in your hand. Just a glance, then takes a drag of her cigarette. The lieutenant gives you an acknowledging little nod.
Let's keep our composure here. Don't snap the finger pistols at all.
Probably for the best. Your 9mm semi-automatic finger pistols are not a toy to be waved around.
Okay, Clashy.
Welcome to the roof.
The young woman has a cigarette in one hand and a cup of coffee in the other.
Her hair is still slick from the shower.
I'm sorry for the mess down there. The cleaning lady hasn't come by in days. I'm beginning to wonder if she ever will.
Nice view you've got here. Is there a cleaning lady? I think I need one. Proceed politely. No time for pleasantries. We have questions for you. No. It's a nice view up here.
It's much nicer now.
Her eyes wander north towards the yard.
Where the dead body used to hang.
Yeah.
Clearly visible from the roof. But no longer.
Thank you for that, officers. Truly.
There is something in her light brown eyes. A sadness. When she thinks about the death of that man.
You mentioned a cleaning lady. I probably need one too.
Oh, yes. Legends of room number 1 have made their way around the building. They say a portal to hell has opened in there.
It has. No, I just trashed the place. Disco Infernum. Hell, you know not of which you speak. There are vortices of dark energy present, but not to hell, to another place, a third place, much different from our world. Disco Infernum.
They also say that's why the cleaning lady quit. Because of the infernum.
She nods approvingly.
I am Kim Kitsuragi. I am a detective from Precinct 57. I see you've already met my colleague.
The lieutenant steps in.
This does not come as good news to him.
Have I ever? This is the biggest fan of ostentatious orchestrations I have seen in my life. And I have seen a few. Oh yeah. Life gets hard, but we go on.
It's gotten pretty hard in the meantime, but I go on. How long do you think until the hard wears us down? Things are only getting easier for me. I'm a policeman. To do imitate a siren. You ain't seen nothing yet. There's a karaoke stage downstairs. How long do you think until the hard wears us down?
Oh, I've got a couple of good years left on my warranty.
She looks down at her body shimmering in the silver jumpsuit.
Miss, we are investigating the murder of the man down there. The people who put him there have asked us to talk to you.
He looks down at the yard.
Huh. I see.
She takes a pensive drag of her menthol cigarette.
Be careful. Ask something else first. When you go there, use words like, I hear you have been through something difficult.
Do you know what this wildflower is?
She looks at the dried petals in your palm, then lightly touches one with her fingernail. Chipped white polish covers the nail. It's long and sharp, like a mini dagger. The petal crumbles on contact.
Pretty. Looks like a dried maybell. Is that the one you caught? Sambo style?
Why was it there?
Why was there a flower on the roof? I don't know, officer. Because of the wind?
Or an admirer?
Any admirers, miss?
Admirers? I'm too old to be a debutante. And this place is no fashionable society.
She looks over the railing at the plaza below. It's a nice room you've got here, Clashy.
Yeah, it's pretty deluxe.
No one likes to talk about their dirty laundry and their empty bottles. Maybe if you phrase it emotionally.
What are you doing here in the Whirling in Rags? Look around. Hate to say it, but you've got sad all over the place. You've quite the collection of prescription drugs down there. That window's new. Phrase it emotionally. Hate to say it, but you've got sad all over the place.
Yeah, I've contaminated it pretty bad.
She draws out the vial. Is that why you're out here?
The contamination spreads from room to room. First, I escaped upstairs. The sad got that too. Then I found the handle for the summer door.
And what's the genesis of this contamination?
For me, it's a mix of me with a lack of cleaning services. How about you? Talk around the establishment is, you have an industrial sad spill in there.
She taps the roof with her heel.
Somewhere below, military-grade sad is dripping off the walls. You should say the first thing. It's honest. It will lead to introspection.
Something is bad. Point to your head. In my head, in the past. It's a demon who smells of betrayal and apricots. For me, it's alcoholism, miss. Something's bad.
That's where it always comes from, isn't it? From the head and from the past.
It's a feeling, white and filled with doom, gaseous, invisible, deadly. It's everywhere.
Sounds like an advanced form of what I've got, with a bit of old love sprinkled on top.
Probably, yeah.
Love is terror.
She breathes in a large billow of menthol-infused smoke, savors it, then lets it out slowly. What are you doing here in the Whirling in Rags?
I'm wintering.
How long have you been staying here?
About 4 months. I came in November.
Why here?
Here in the Whirling, here in Martinez, or here in Revachol?
Martinez.
I heard this is where the washed-up disco has-beens go.
You're too young to call yourself a disco has-been, I think.
I'm really not.
She smirks. It's quite the collection of prescription drugs you've got down there.
Thank you. I've put a lot of time and effort into it.
She says without any discernible irony.
Technically, possession of narcotics is legal in Revachol, but you should still reprimand her. No, don't listen to the stiff.
Yeah.
Be cool.
Narcomania is nothing to be proud of, miss. It was quite impressive. How did you amass such a hoard?
With money, sir. It's not exactly the NT-star size caboodle I intend for it to be one day, but it's getting there.
The collection includes Narca, an opioid antagonist. You seem to have, among other things, Reptide.
Oh, yes. One of my favorites. It cures many ailments.
Like what?
Like not being able to stay up for 36 hours, not being happy. It cures those ailments. It's just a merit speed molecule, basically.
The collection includes Nacra. It's an opioid.
Comes in handy when you've done too many opioids.
Antagonist, sorry.
Is that something that happens to you often, miss?
His tone isn't aggressive, just inquisitive.
Better safe than sorry.
She takes a drag and smiles. That's all for that.
Very funky.
She takes a drag, looking you straight in the eye. You've had the window replaced.
It is.
She moves slightly to your left to check your reflection in it.
The lieutenant makes a note in his notebook. He finds the answer unsatisfying.
On to other questions.
Okay.
She takes a pensive drag of her cigarette.
Watching herself reflected in the bedroom window, tall and sparkling and draped in smoke.
For the record, what's your name?
Clausier Amandou.
Where are you from?
Vredefort, Republic of Oranje.
Wasn't the tattoo on the hanged man an Oranese map of the waterways? The thought begins to form in your head, then dissipates. Something for later.
What is Oranje?
A bad memory, officer.
Of what?
Of lilacs and lightning. Parks, glass. Duraluminium. Vredefort is a conference city. It's always autumn there. And night. At least it was for me.
It's always autumn. This is like there being mention of the Pale again. It's always autumn. Right? That sounds like the Pale. She squints her eyes, as if to see them in the distance.
What's so bad about that?
Nothing. If you're no longer there.
The conference centers are filled with people who get angry at you if you do something wrong.
Did you do something wrong?
Sooner or later, everyone does.
We shouldn't ask how old she is, but it's a police business.
I'm 28.
She takes a drag. God, and she feels like she's like old or past it at that age. Jesus Christ. What do you do, miss? What's your specialization?
Something stupid.
Want to hear what's stupid? Somewhere in a one-room apartment on Boogie Street, a young man shows Patrol Officer Tilbrook his genital warts, asking if they're cancer.
Thank you, Esprit de Corps.
His partner, Emil Mullins, can't be there. He's in another apartment with another man who's showing him a dead dog under the radiator. It's dead, Mullins says. No, the man replies. I touched him. He's warm.
Guess it just kind of, it always gives us an insight into the kind of ludicrous things other police, other RCM officers are going through, you know, the situations they're in.
He's warm, Mullins replies, because he's under the radiator.
You're a cop?
No, no. More stupid. Oranese lit.
What does that mean?
Oranese literature. It's what I studied at the university.
Oh, she raises both eyebrows. And what's that about?
Fear of failure, fear of death, how it sucks to be Oranese. All national literatures are. Only the name of the nation changes.
Yeah, guess at a certain point, people have a real disdain for national pride, right?
If that's true, then Revacholian lit would fit you like a glove.
And what do you use that degree for?
Nothing. I do nothing with it.
How do you make money then? Money is important. Show her some money. All right, cool.
It's not very cool, but what can you do?
Do we see your passport, please, Clashy?
I'm afraid you can't, officer.
Why not?
Why is that?
Because it's buried in a sealed plastic bag at an undisclosed location on the coast, along with cash and airline tickets.
Thank you for your candor. Why?
It's the first mention we've had of aeroplanes, right?
They say so in your tourist brochure. Keep travel documents away from your person when west of the river.
Oh, no, I don't think it is, actually. No. No, ignore me. I'm pretty sure I have the legal right to demand your passport, miss. How do I know you've told us your real name?
If I were to lie to you, I would come up with a more mainstream name than Clausia Mondu. It's a weird name.
Pretty sure I can demand your passport.
Look, officers, I like this place, but I don't want to be stuck wandering the city like a ghost after being robbed of my travel documents. I don't want to become an indentured servant in a brothel on Boogie Street. And I don't want my relatives to pay the ransom.
There are plenty of other reasons for hiding your documents from the law.
And that's not. But is that really why you hid it?
It's also why I hid it.
Why else?
He's suddenly very attentive.
I'm an unpopular girl.
She takes a drag.
There are people back home who don't like me. If they show up, I'm in a hurry.
So you're a fugitive.
The kind of hurry where you can't afford to not find your documents. But don't worry. This has nothing to do with your investigation.
What kind of people are these? The ones that you don't like, that don't like you?
I would love to change the subject. It's not important. Unless I'm some kind of suspect.
She arches an eyebrow. No, we've just come to talk.
Phew.
She wipes her brow.
Playfully. She doesn't seem to be overly distressed. Or distressed at all, really.
Alright then.
Okie dokie.
She pours herself more coffee.
If any of this made her nervous, it certainly doesn't show in her expression or her movements.
That's it for the record.
The record. So official.
They tell us you've been through something difficult.
Something difficult? I've been through at least half a dozen difficult things. Which one do you mean?
Were you sexually assaulted?
By sexually assaulted, you mean raped?
She takes a quick drag, unperturbed.
Yes.
It's a bit early in the morning for raped, isn't it?
It's 4:30 in the afternoon, Clashy.
She sounds positively buoyant, vivacious, totally unbothered.
What does that mean? Were you?
Yeah.
She draws the
I'm
word
gonna go
out.
with not raped. I can't say that stuff about him. Tell them it's not my style. They'll have to, if they want to jazz up the charges, they'll have to get someone more, rapeable.
Oh, so what? She's not complying with the story?
Are you saying that you were asked to tell us you were assaulted?
Not explicitly, but I understood what they meant. It wouldn't hurt to spice things up a bit. Some assault and battery. Sexual assault, maybe. It was clear the latter would be spicier.
Titus asked you to spice things up for us. What did happen between you and the victim? Alright, I think we can ask most of these. So what did happen between you and the victim?
We partied.
Partied? Where have I heard that before? You mean like a birthday party? What kind of partying? Point to your bloated face. The kind I do? I don't get it. What do you mean partied? Where have I heard that before? From Titus.
A lot of partying going on.
From Titus? About her and Titus's relationship. That's where you heard it.
Like a birthday party?
Yes. We made balloon animals, drank lemonade, inflated a bouncy castle.
Did you rim the lemonade glasses with sugar? I like to do that.
Yeah, I love that too. We frosted the glasses, I unwrapped my bike, there was a petting zoo with little white rabbits.
This right here is the epitome of what always annoys me, or what I think annoys me about like American sarcasm and irony. There's no subtlety to it. Really?
I would like it to have been that way, but it wasn't.
How was it?
We drank, sir. A lot. For weeks, basically. We had that effect on each other. We made each other drink harder. That's why I liked him.
And she liked him.
What else?
Stimulants. Speed also has that effect, making you drink harder. And then drinking harder makes you do more speed. It's quite the combination. We also had sex.
Did it go any deeper than that?
A little. The drugs were good enough, and we did enough of them.
How did you two meet?
The lieutenant's voice is quiet, calm.
Downstairs, at the bar. He was on some sort of assignment, a military man, as you probably know. Had a cool, scary scar.
She appears aloof, but that scar part, the scary, is stressed and drawn out. What's that about? Apprehension?
Okay. Scary is stressed and drawn out.
With longing. She misses him.
When was this?
A month ago? Something like that.
Must have been hard for you, seeing him down there.
Oh, yes. I've had a great view. From the roof, out of the bathroom window, in my dreams.
A bitter cringe. It hurts. You look to the lieutenant. He takes a small step closer.
You called us, the RCM.
Yes.
Jackpot.
The call reporting the hanging, that was you.
I made it. And I would appreciate it if you didn't tell everyone.
Yeah.
In Martinez, they call it snitching.
Reporting crimes is confidential in Revachol, miss.
Caller's voice was disguised.
I didn't exactly disguise it. I just muffled the mic and nicked the landline a little.
How?
With nail clippers. And I diverted some radio fuzz into it. Into the cold wire.
Okay.
So, she's God's mystery foam cutter.
In the process, you broke the landline downstairs.
Did I? Fuck. I didn't mean to. I had no idea what I was doing.
She looks into her coffee.
Still, that's pretty clever tampering. Simple and clever. Crossing the lines like that.
Yeah, it's pretty nifty.
Thanks.
She manages to smile. Why go through all the trouble? You had feelings for him? Felt like an injustice had happened?
I don't know, sir. It was stupid. I was drunk, too. I was probably afraid the Union was listening in. Locals say they have ears in the wires.
Thank you for making the call, miss. It was the right thing to do.
I didn't want to, sir. But if I hadn't, he'd still be hanging there.
So Titus asked you to spice things up for us.
Pretty much.
She cradles her coffee cup in both hands.
Warming them.
We don't really need to ask if she's sure she wasn't raped, right? What can you tell me about the hanged man?
I'm sorry, I can't do it. Not right now. Later, maybe. I keep seeing him. like he is now. I can't talk about his, I don't know, hair.
Another puff, more nervous.
I know it's difficult, miss. We can return to it later.
She meant she sees him in her dreams.
I've also seen him in a dream.
You have? Not like I do, I imagine.
She runs out of cigarette. Time to light another one. How do you see him?
You don't want to know.
She looks into the pack. It's light green, then pulls out a ciggy. I see him as me.
She dips the cigarette in the lighter's flame and inhales, then looks at you with her lungs full of smoke.
I can see the similarity, yes.
She breathes out through her nostrils. The air smells of menthol.
Funny.
The lieutenant says softly.
Funny how?
Nothing. I also saw him. We had a long inspection and that sort of thing sticks with you. Let's move on.
I'm just thinking about the Pale and the Pale driver and the memories of people's lives that aren't your own. You know? Maybe we've got some sort of memory of the hanged man's life or even Clash's life, and that's why, maybe. Okay, so she's deeply traumatized by this. What did they hang him for, if not rape?
He had something to do with the strike. One has been roiling since I got here. Rotten timing. But you probably know all about it.
Yeah.
And his role in this strike was what?
I think he was in a security detail. He was ex-military, worked for Wild Pines, and against the Union. We didn't discuss work much, if you know what I mean. But I understood it was dangerous.
And they lynched him for it?
She nods.
Okay, so you think that they lynched him, but there was a bullet in his head.
Bullet? They shot him too?
There's a silence. Her brows meet in the middle for a pained frown.
They stripped his clothes and they shot him?
You mean after they hanged him?
I'm confused, sorry.
So am I. Were you aware that he had also been shot, miss?
Things are starting to go a little over my head here. I thought he was hanged. I was not present when they did it. I don't know what happened.
Okay.
I just know what they told me. And Sylvie, the bartender.
Sylvie.
This is beginning to get confusing for you too, and we don't like that. Where was she last Sunday night?
Where were you when this all happened?
Cowering. I was cowering
Sylvie.
downstairs with Sylvie.
Right. We need to talk to Sylvie. How do the Hardy Boys know you?
They're frequent guests. Downstairs.
She looks at the
They
floor.
have a booth for union members. They're probably down there now.
How did you meet?
Over drinks. It's been a long, boring winter.
And you partied too?
A little, yeah.
Like you partied with the deceased?
No, not as hard.
I'm sorry to have to ask this, but have you had a physical relationship with any of the Hardy Boys?
Well, I guess Titus was bound to say that he might have, right? So...
I have.
Which one?
Which ones, sir? I don't remember precisely. Titus, obviously. But as I said, it's been a long winter.
Could that have been part of the reason they hanged him?
Jealousy?
I hope not. Actually, I know that's not the reason. I'm careful about that kind of thing. Not crossing the wires, you know? But that's probably where they got the rape idea.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Men like that? I don't know. It's the way their imaginations work. I suspect it's what they'd like to do to me.
Okay. Thanks, Clashy. Thanks for telling us all this, miss.
She breathes a silvery sigh of relief and weariness. The air on the roof feels humid.
Should we head by downstairs, officer? We may have things to discuss there.
The lieutenant looks at you. I had something else before we go. A little thing.
She nods. Silvery cigarette fumes disappear into her mouth.
Legendary volition. If we heal, will this check go up? Let's just try one. Yes. Let's return to this later, Classy.
Why not? I'll be here until 11 p.m. drinking coffee, most likely.
A good life. Right. I don't remember having any items that boost volition, right? Yeah, it's just damage, so we could put one more point. That'll get it up to like 40%, I believe. But I don't think clothes affect volition. Nah. This is the wildflower you caught. One of a bouquet of mungwets that you found on the whirling roof. It's shedding its petals quickly in your pocket. Let's check this out. It has relations to Clashy.
6 crumbling petals rest on your palm. They're white, a bell-shaped crown.
What is this, Kim?
This is the Insulindian lily, called Maybelle's or Lucille's tears during the Revolution. Girls used to pin these on soldiers before sending them off to battle.
The lieutenant corrects his glasses. Who pinned them? Which side?
The revolutionaries, so the communards and the anarchists. White's their color, but the custom started in the suzerain's army, so it held meaning for the kingsmen too. It's about girls and boys more than sides. Girls sending off boys who are going to their deaths, then also dying themselves in the ruins from dysentery and consumption. It's a symbol of the Civil War.
Does it blossom in early spring?
Yes, but not this early, not to my knowledge. It looks dried, preserved.
Is it a coincidence being on the roof? I imagine she was giving it to her fella.
Maybe. Maybe not. We'll see.
He makes a note in his little notebook. Very well.
The petals feel dry and fragile in your hand. Wait, have you noticed there's a war veteran playing a ball game on the plaza?
Yeah.
You should ask him about the flowers.
Shall do. Rene. Okay, we've got no other way of boosting. We've got 2 skill points, so we could put one more into volition. Oh, Kimmy.
Looks like we have more to discuss with those so-called hardy boys.
His voice is lowered.
Their reasoning just went out the window.
Yeah. Think this will make them cooperate?
Nothing will make them respect the RCM, but it will disrupt the game they prepared for us. We just stripped off one layer of whatever it is. Her decision to not corroborate their story was definitely not part of the plan.
I mean, we can guess why she told us that. I mean, she had feelings for him. She doesn't want to be a part of this mess. She was... they were both from Aranye, so... Why?
What else could she have done? Lie?
Yeah.
She saw there was no way to lie and get away with it.
I'm not sure she had to lie. I would have known. I wouldn't have known.
If not you, then me. It was a smart move from her.
I think she seems candid, yeah.
You think so? Being candid is the best way to lie. The appearance of candor with some facts thrown in draws attention away from whatever one chooses to omit. She may be trying to control the pace of the investigation. Anyway, we should move. I suspect our inquiries will bring us back here soon enough.
Okay. Well, let's just see what it's at.
I was just
42.
thinking, what a nice day for questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Yeah, we've got a 42. I mean, we've been missing 82s, right? So the chance to miss those is 28%. So let's just, why don't I just stand here and explain basic maths, percentages, and probabilities? Right. I think we give this a shot. and then we can just bump a point into volition if we fail.
She looks back. Time moves slowly. The triangles of her face rearranging into a weary smile. Don't worry. We will protect you from her beauty. We will consult you through the reefs and sounds of her persona. We will see through deceits. You are shielded. You are wise.
Thank you. Thank you.
Miss Oranje Disco Dancer. You want to put your hand on her back and feel it arch.
What's happening?
Nothing. Just time passing. Don't worry. Anything out of the ordinary and you would be notified. Air moves in your windpipe. Your heart beats. You're a detective. Get back to detecting.
Am I being beguiled?
She presses her elbows against her waist and slowly turns her head. Her hair brushes her shoulders, making a small hissing sound, almost imperceptible.
I've hurt your eyes.
The strange moment ends. It was brief, no longer than 2.2 seconds.
All right, Mr. Volition. Yeah, hyper sane. I don't necessarily like that. Man, there's other stuff I want to be putting points in, like savoir-faire and suggestion and drama. But, you know, I guess part of these are just here for the checks, I suppose. It's only going to bump it to a 50-50 again, isn't it? Let's do it.
I was just thinking, what a nice day for questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Soft, light brown eyes look back at you, directly into the space behind your eye sockets. You see the smoke rise from between her painted red lips. She's beautiful. I have bad news for you.
Uh-oh.
You know these guys? Who? Me? Yes, you. He's talking about you, you groveling sycophant. You too. Me? Get out of here. I'm solid.
Do want authority. You've never given me any good advice.
These guys are compromised. She's got them singing along to her tune. The little bleeps and bloops you trust for info, you can't trust them anymore.
I knew something was off.
I'm sorry I didn't catch it sooner. It takes conscious effort on your part.
Which ones exactly are affected?
There's no way of knowing. At the moment, I'm afraid it's best to assume.
All of them.
All of them.
How did this happen?
How it always does. Through subtlety.
What can I do?
There's nothing you can do about it. You are how you are, and she is how she is. Things will go as they do.
That's quite a good saying, that. Can you turn them normal again?
No.
What use is it then?
It's better to know you're being played than to be played without knowing it.
I guess, yeah.
Not.
So she's been lying to me?
I think it's safe to assume, yes. Mr. Thespian here hasn't been speaking up. If he were, I suspect there would be paeans to her truthfulness. Like this, she is a lady, most fair and just. In his defense, to reduce him to such inadequacy, she probably had to employ half-truths more often than outright lies. That is correct. And omissions too.
What about this guy?
A little. They're all still of limited use, interpreting things to the best of their ability. Maybe they add flair or something. I wouldn't know. I don't add flair.
Well, this is the most personification that they've had.
But when it comes to assessments of character and factual accuracy, they are not to be trusted. Not with her.
Can I trust any of them ever again?
Don't be melodramatic. You can trust them. Just not with her. A light green speck and imperfection on the outer rim of her right iris. It sparkles.
So what's her plan?
You can't draw a sound conclusion. The one who usually does says, she may want to control the information rollout, not to become a suspect. She may have a past she's escaping,
Yeah.
unrelated to this case. You doubt it's something truly insidious. See? It's oddly moderate, probably compromised.
Yeah, so she's got a reason why she left Oranyi, right? She's kind of a fugitive, perhaps. She's done something wrong. She's on the run. Maybe that's the bit she's omitting that we're picking up on. Maybe she's not lying about the thing that we're actually talking to her about. But we're still RCM. We could still maybe, somehow extradite her or something like that. I've been talking to myself for a while now.
Don't worry. It's only been 4 or 5 seconds. You've got this.
Miss, are you manipulating me? Wow. See, this is the thing in games at times. You don't want to... It's like it's FOMO, right? Like the fear of missing out. Miss, are you manipulating me?
The silence broken. She exhales a little cloud of smoke and says,
God, no.
Shouldn't have said that. Let's talk more about the assault.
Not my favorite topic.
All right,
okay.
never mind. Never mind.
How about we, change the subject to something more lighthearted now?
What about your room?
Yeah?
No, never mind.
All
Right, that's
right.
everything. That's actually everything. All right, let's just quickly have a look what this door leads to.
the same small, heavy door. No lock in sight. It's barred from the inside. You hear the bar rattle in the brackets. Sounds like it's heavy, too. Very sturdy.
Where does it lead to?
I don't know, Lieutenant Yefreiter.
I like that he's calling me this now.
It is not the first closed door we found in this building. There is also your mysterious blue kitchen door.
Do you think it's important?
I don't know. The further we get, the more this building seems to be tied to the case.
Very true.
The vigilantes, the cadaver, and a number of people connected to the case are in or around this building. This door is part of it. It's not unimportant.
See, the main investigation and the door below are merging into a stereo investigation. I could say something, but I'm not going to, because I don't gloat. A stereo investigation.
I hate it when that happens.
Alright guys, I'm going to leave that episode there. Seems like the natural place to leave it. We'll go in, if they're still down there, we'll go and talk to the Hardy Boys a bit more. We are really short on cash. I think we've got some stuff we could sell in terms of staying over the night. So yeah, fascinating. Talking to Clashy. Kind of, their plan is kind of falling apart at the seams a bit. We need to locate this 8th Hardy boy or Hardy girl, the truck driver lady. I mean, I guess we could we still have the option of going to Tommy, but I don't, he trusted us, so we're not going to try and push him. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one, guys. Please leave me a like on the video if you did, and just remember, everybody, never trust and on crate. See you back in Revachol.